Taxes. With our knowledgeable staff and state-of-the-art technology, we'll make sure that you receive the maximum refund that you deserve. Plus, with our advanced refund loan of up to $5,000 or more, there's no reason to wait. Visit Andres Income Tax today and take the first step towards a hassle-free tax season. Don't let tax season take over your life. Let us handle it for you.
Andres Income Tax, your one-stop shop for all your tax needs.
Welcome to Silla Caliente. This edition is the hot seats, and we will be switching it up to English a little bit today. So I'm Rosie, of course. I'm Rosie, y'all know me. I'm Rosie, and I'm here with the Statue of Liberty of softball, Manny Chicago. And the bomb that never seems to explode, Bomba Capital.
Yes!
And tonight we have a special guest, as she's made history as not only as the first and only woman to run a softball co-ed league in the Bronx, but she's also, I think, the most talked about figure in softball as well. And so she has been creating a buzz today, and we have received an outpour of messages and burning questions that we'll leave for a little bit later. But tonight we have the most decorated, I think one of the most decorated females in softball, Nicole Condomitti.
Wow. My English is not very good looking, but Nicole is beautiful.
She has 20 years of dedicated service to the softball community. And for that, we are excited to honor and recognize her service.
Yo hablo inglés así, igualito que tú.
No, porque toda la semana me gastan el poquito de español que sé.
Vamos a dejar que Nicole.
Nicole, welcome.
Welcome, Nicole.
How are you? Thank you for having me. Let's start there.
You know, Nicole, it's hard. I know how many people try to get you into. Muchas personas han tratado to get you to the podcast, but you know what? We feel very honored tonight to have you there. And for those that are watching tonight, please share, you know, compartan, because you know what? There's going to be something historical. My English is very good, right?
That was very good.
No, tú sabes, antes que entremos en materia, yo quisiera felicitar a los Twins que se coronaron campeón del equipo del torneo de Drink.
The Dream Team.
The Dream Team. Ellos,
Yes.
eso fue en Brooklyn. Yo los felicito allá. Al fin se le dio un equipo que gasta mucho, porque querían hablar sobre eso.
Sí.
De los equipos que gastan mucho y tienen pocos resultados. Entonces, ya que yo creo que eso lo vamos a dejar para la próxima semana.
Para otra ocasión, porque hoy tenemos, tonight we have somebody that have dedicated, que una persona que ha tenido tanta experiencia, for those Spanish and English. I'll be honest, honestamente, me siento orgulloso, no lo creo. I'm a little nervous. Algo que yo no me siento nervioso, but you know, to have this lady here that is very strict, go by the rules, enseña las reglas, lee las reglas y se mantiene siempre estrictamente. For me, it's a great honor to have you here tonight.
I'm shocked she even said yes.
Yes.
I'm excited.
Woman power.
Yes, you see,
Woman
I had to
power.
make the ask, guys. I had to make the ask.
Manny, te voy a decir la verdad. So, hoy es un segmento donde Rossi se tiene que destacar, ¿no? ¿Verdad?
Claro que
Porque
sí.
después, after tonight, you know what they're going to say? Oh, a man attacked a woman, asked a tough question.
Oh, I'm not gonna, no attacking, you know.
No, but you know what?
We have burning questions, we do.
We do have caliente question, but you know what? We're here to honor her legacy. you know, because I understand yo aprendí, the reason I'm speaking both, that you know, we've been fighting, la mujer, the women have fight for equal rights. And tonight, you know, we're going to honor a woman that have fought in a men's sports. And for me to have her here esta noche, tener a una persona que ha luchado para tener la misma igualdad que los hombres nosotros tenemos en el deporte, es para mí es un gran honor. So this program, este programa, no solamente es dedicado to the Latin people. I want to give a shout out to my English people, también a la persona en inglés. So please share. Tonight, Nicole, we're going to have a lot of things we're going to ask her. Le vamos a hacer muchas preguntas. And make sure you send your question because Rose is going to be paying attention.
I'm going to be paying attention on Facebook,
so,
yeah.
Nuestro hermano
And on
Manny,
Instagram.
Top Gun, el tipo with the hot question, Mr. Caliente right there. Mr. Caliente, le está toda la libertad. He always come here. So, Nicole, how you feel tonight?
Good.
You're good tonight, right? You ready for anything? So,
Nicole, I read your bio, right? And one of the most interesting things from when you started ADW, right? You said that you had not played any sports prior to that. Then I want you to give us a little bit about that. I'm not gonna put it out there, but I want you to put it out there and give us a little bit of the background of the beginnings of ADW.
So basically, I was a girly girl all my life. Never wore sneakers. Always wore dresses and jean skirts. As I got older, I had my daughter at age 20. I winded up bumping into an old childhood friend. We started dating, and he was diehard softball and football. So I would go to his games, learn how to keep the scorebook, learn the rules of a softball game. As I got a little older, I started working at an HVAC company, and they had a corporate team. And I took over as far as coaching.
Just like that?
Just like that. I just said, let's go play, have a good time and play. And I became competitive. I couldn't play to save my life. I suck. I'm terrible. I can't play. But I knew how to coach. I know the object of rules and how to learn them, understand them, and utilize them. With that said, one day I was walking by 145th Street and Lenox Avenue, and there was a men's league. And the guy that came by was a commissioner named CJ.
what year was that, Nicole?
About 1998 or 99.
98, 99, right? El
And,
año.
about there. No, I don't
98,
think any later than 2000.
Okay.
And I said, hey, why don't you try co-ed? He said, you know what, let's sit down one day and talk about it. We'll try. So the following year, he called me up before the meeting, and we did that, just that. We tried. We had a good series. Started out with 6 or 7 teams, and before you knew it, within a matter of 3 years, it grew. Huge. And it was only weeknights at the time. And then me and him had a falling out, and I said, you know what? This was my idea. I'm going to go do it by myself. At that point, I knew Freddie Gonzalez, who ran Sunday League in Columbia Park. And I said, Freddie, how do I go about getting a field? He said, no problem, I got you. And he threw me in the boondocks of Pelham 7, where there's poison ivy in the outfield.
Yes. Te tiró para la selva, to the jungle.
Contrary to people's, like, you know, I actually like
En
Field
Pelham
7.
En Pelham Bay, yes.
But it's out of sight, out of mind, which is good.
That's
for
why I
Starter
like
League.
it.
Oíste, Manny, la tiró para la selva. En Pelham Bay hay
Número 7.
Número 7, el
Tú has jugado
parque.
para allá.
El que nadie...
Yo he pasado, no, que yo,
Oye,
yo nunca he jugado mucho para allá.
Nadie le
Eso
gusta
en
ir
el
para allá.
picnic
Yes.
area, allá está up the hill.
Ahí
by the
llevan a los
river.
perros a
Está
caminar.
todo ahí.
So ahí lo tiramos allá. You know, we had a few years, and then he said, oh, vete a Indian Field, you know, los sábados. Vete usted a ese field. And that's what we did. And then eventually, I went to the Parks Department, and we got 145th on Saturdays. So I now had 145th on Saturdays. CJ had it Sunday through Friday. I had it Saturday. And before you know it, my league grew. So they
How
said,
was and I don't mean to interrupt you, but how was was there tension there? Because
there was no tension because there was never a co-ed league in the Bronx or in Manhattan. And
but he
everybody-
had his.
It was no
He had it
competition at the time.
He had
was
it on
something.
he had it on weeknights, so it didn't
And
affect
all
me
right,
because it
all
was
right,
Saturday.
right.
When we first started, we started out with 6 teams, and they were all family teams. We had a team called Six Pack.
Yep.
We had a team called Black Sox. We had a whole bunch of family teams. There were husband, wives, kids. That's how it started, and eventually it kept growing that way, and that was the fun and the love of the sport. I was a kid who grew up in the 70s and 80s where there was a TV show called A Different World.
Yes, I know
Yes.
that show.
That's where I got the name from. But we never called it out by A Different World. We always said ADW.
It was always known as ADW.
Yes.
A
Pero
different
te digo
world.
algo. You know what? Nicole went a little fast forward. But besides everything, my boy Kid, my boy Tyson, and a few other guys that was in the team, fueron campeones en when you joined the EMS, que
Yes.
ustedes entraron a la EMS,
Yes.
donde era Virgin EMS co-ed.
Correct.
Let's say, vamos a decirlo as, it was a Virgin EMS, where everybody could have fun and
Yes.
compete.
Yes.
So, ustedes ganaron the first year, ya won the first year.
Yes.
That was what, if I don't remember, 2003?
No, 98, 99.
98, 99. So, ganaron the first year, then fueron campeones back to back.
Yes, that's correct.
Entonces, vino where the whole change came around. The Giants. Los Gigantes, Tito, Wichi, Rudy, Flaco, Abigail, when everything came down.
That's correct.
What happened after that?
So basically, we
¿Qué
were,
pasó?
we were in the playoffs. It was the Giants versus New Jacks. That was the name of my team at the time. And corruption hit the fan. They allowed illegal players to come into the playoffs, stating they could only have one game qualifications. I was like, absolutely not. I said, we're not playing game 3 tonight. I'll see you next week. When I came back next week, I came with the rules. I said, here's the rules. It says you need 6 games. What are we doing? Are you going to let them play, or we're going to go back to the original rosters? He said, no, they can play. I said, no problem. I quit. We're not playing. You can have the game. 2 weeks later, I filed for a court summons to have him summoned to pay me back.
Oh.
That's the facts, right?
Entró el fax.
There
Amado, entró el fax con la
Many
Rossi, con la
people
Rossi,
may
con la
not
Rossi.
know, but Nicole sues CJ. Ew.
¿A
Ahí sí.
Demandó.
¿A qué vino eso, esa demanda? ¿Y por qué?
Because uno trabaja fuerte para un equipo.
Ajá.
We were called for a team.
You pay league fee, you pay ref fee, uniforms, travel time. And here it is, the playoffs. You have a good series. You're 1-1. Ellos ganaron uno. We won one. It's game 3. Why are you going to cheat us? Let's play the game on the table.
Pero eso, muchachos, yo no es que yo no hablo inglés, yo soy duro. Para que ustedes sepan. Lo que pasa es que no quiero hablar inglés porque yo soy el lado de
Guys, he speak English. Don't worry about
Yo soy
it.
duro. Pero se puede demandar en softball. Yo no sabía, ¿se puede?
Sí.
Se llama Small Claims Court.
Small.
Small Claims Court es, tú tienes hasta 10,000 pesos para darle un sue.
Ten
Ok.
cuidado,
Pero tú
Manny.
tienes que-
Ten
pero-
cuidado,
pero-
Manny.
Señores.
Ten cuidado,
Pero tiene
Manny.
que tener,
Ábrela,
tiene que
mano.
tener todos los papeles.
Señores, queremos que Nicole, aparte de todo, besides everything, to Nicole educate us.
Yes.
How can that happen? ¿Cómo eso puede pasar? That you could be sued. So I want to give the honor to Nicole.
So you got to have black and white on the table. The rules. What are you fighting for? What are you suing? I sued. You went against your rules. Your rules are on paper. You changed the rules, but you never changed the paper. So what I signed, the contract with you when I joined your league, was these rules that you gave me. You never changed the rules, so you can't change the rules in the season.
Yo no sabía.
And that's what
Ten,
he did.
chequea.
ten cuidado.
So the rules were changed. You changed the qualifications. If you say every player has to have 6 games to make the playoffs, then they need 6 games. That's why you have lineup cards.
Exacto.
You don't have lineup cards to prove they got 6 games, they don't qualify. They can't come into the playoffs. And that's what happened. Once I showed the rules, the qualifications, what we paid, all of our fees, Small Claims Court said, you have a case. Come to court.
Y ganaste, Nicole.
Yo no tenía que ir para corte.
Pero,
Negoció.
Yo no tenía que ir para corte.
pero ¿cuánto fue que te buscaste ahí, Nicole? ¿Cuánto te
No,
ganaste?
no. Manny.
¿Cuál es la búsqueda?
Eso hacen años, ya suelta eso.
Vamos a decir
Amado.
more than 4,000.
More than 4,000
More than
te buscaste ahí. Valió la pena.
So CJ was summoned. CJ didn't want to go to court. He said, I'll pay you in 2 checks. Cancel the court order. I said, absolutely not. When the check is paid in full, and what I want is on the table, paid in full, I will then cancel.
Pero tú demandaste por 4,000 fueron.
Más de eso.
Era más. Y llegaron a un arreglo de eso.
Él lo pagó en 2 cheques. When the 2 checks cleared, I called off the court case. I said, I've been settled out of court. We can cancel the case.
And I want to make this clear. Quiero decir esto, el productor. Mr. C.J. Johnson, my brother, from another mother, he told me tonight, me mandó a decir un mensaje. He loved Nicole. He felt honored. He knew you was coming tonight. To tell you personally, aparte de todo, de los errores, porque the only error only a human can make.
Correct.
We're not robots. And you know what? C.J. Johnson was very honored and said, you know what? Tell Nicole personally, my brother Bomba, that I am very grateful for everything she have done in the sport, que ella ha hecho en el deporte, and I'm very honored. So C.J. Johnson doesn't hold nothing back. So that, you know why? Él no aguanta nada, porque aunque nuestro hermano C.J., for my English, my Spanish viewers, se siente una persona que se ha demandado, se siente que cometió un error. Y Nicole estaba luchando por su derecho, lo demandó a él por una cantidad muy pequeña, en una corte que bajo de $10,000 se puede demandar a una persona porque no siguió el reglamento que él puso en su liga. So, cualquier comisionado que cree que no puede ser demandado, señores, hoy tenemos nosotros una comisionada que tiene más de 20 años en el deporte, la cual siguió las reglas, lo llevó a las leyes y todas las reglas que usted tenga en sus ligas, all the rules you have in your league, you must follow. You know why? Because you know what? You might just receive or know you being sued.
And she just educated everyone. She just educated everyone on how that could be even possible. Manny, ten cuidado.
No. No es que yo soy chismoso. Yo no soy chismoso. Pero dime, ¿qué es lo que pasa con Muñeca? Que tú no quieres que Muñeca piche.
Pero antes de eso, Amado, ¿puedes poner el video?
Sí, pero ¿qué es lo que está pasando?
El número 3.
Aquí están preguntando.
Sí.
El número 3.
Sí. Nicole, this was something that was sent by the very person we just spoke about.
Okay.
Yes.
Hello, and congratulations, Nicole, on your 20th anniversary as commissioner of the ADW League. Nicole Condomitti, who is a very good friend of mine, who has brought great softball to the Bronx community. You have done a fabulous job in organizing, making sure that it's fun, and that it is very professional at the ADW League. Whether it's at Lafayette, whether it's at Harris, whether back in the days at 145th Street. It's been a pleasure knowing you. And I and the EMS League want to congratulate you on your 20th year, Nicole, and may you have another 20. And we also want to give a shout out to your daughter, Nate Gonzalez, for what she's doing with OOF. Once again, congratulations to you, Nicole. Well deserved, and much love from you from CJ and the EMS League.
Hey, see, no beef, no beef.
Our brother CJ, thank you so much, Mr. CJ.
Soy chismoso. ¿Qué tiempo duraron ustedes sin hablar, usted y CJ, Nicole?
Oh,
¿Qué tiempo?
Casi 20 años.
Wow.
20
almost 20
años.
years he's not spoke to CJ.
The day that I spoke to CJ for the first time was at, God bless his soul, Wimpy's funeral home. We went to go see Wimpy at the funeral home. He had just passed away. And he came to me and shook my hand and said, can we make amends? And I said, I don't hold any grudges. I says, right is right and wrong is wrong. We squared away with, what happened wrong. You chose to take us off the map and say we didn't exist in your league. You chose to blackball us. It's okay. I said, I moved on. I grew my league, and you did your thing, and I did mine. I hold no grudges. He shook my hand and said, I apologize, and can we move on? And this year, when I bumped into him again, he said, just so you know, I'm going to post you on my website. I said, for what? He said, I'm going to let the world know that you created EMS Co-Ed. I said, you don't have to say that. It is your league. He goes, no, but it was your idea. You brought it to me, and I grew off your idea.
So
I appreciate that.
We could say, podemos decir, productor, que la que creó el softball de hombres y mujeres mixto es la estatua de la libertad femenina. Feminine. The Statue of Liberty of Co-Ed is Miss Nicole. You know what?
Hey, that's big. That's big.
That is a great honor.
That is a great
You know
honor.
what? I give a lot of respect for my brother CJ Johnson, because you know what? Those that knows the credibility of the great and the ability and your great ability you have done, and my English not very good looking like Sammy Sosa saying the court. Pero, you know, it's respectful. You're not weak when you know your mistake. Tú no eres débil cuando tú cometes un error. You know, when you say, you know what, I made a mistake, I analyze how great she have been, and your CJ, it tells how great of a person you are, my brother. For me, it's a great honor to always work with you and be loyal to you. So, Nicole, tonight, you know what, I feel very blessed that our brother CJ sent a video.
That was
There's
really
nothing
nice,
hard to
yeah.
So thank you so much. So now la pregunta caliente. We're gonna come to the hot question. Amado, vámonos. We gotta ask some questions, right? Una pregunta caliente. Manny, dime. Okay, nuestra hermana.
No me mires así, Nicole.
¿Quién?
Yo soy amigo tuyo.
Okay. You know what? You know what they say? It was a question. It was a fact. Hey, espérate. Hold on. Esto está en vivo. This is live. Está entrando una llamada
Dile
aquí.
que está en vivo.
Espérate. I'm not going to say who. Okay. Señores, I'm not going to say who's live here right now. Hello? Hello?
What up?
Ooh.
That's Sam Torres.
Oh.
I know that voice.
You know that voice? Who's that?
That's Samuel Anthony Torres.
His government.
His government name.
I know who that is.
What's going on?
Yeah.
What's going on? So it's a salute to Miss Nicole, Condomitti, whatever her last name is.
Nicole C. We'll keep it C.
Whatever her last name is. First and foremost, I'm a speaking Spanish, which is not too common for me to do because I'm from where I'm from. Me gustaría darle saludos a Manny, que es como un hermano a mí.
Manny.
Como un hermano. Manny, te quiero.
Gracias.
Saludos a la señora. I don't know her name, but
Rosie.
to her.
Rosie.
My brother from another. Salute to you and your show. I appreciate you. Thank you very much.
Thank you,
for having
Sammy.
me. But I'm gonna be short and I'm gonna be very brief. About what I'm gonna say about Nicole. As we say that the first person to do something is the person that we pay homage to. Nicole was the first person to bring co-ed softball to the uptown area of New York. If a lot of people don't know that co-ed only existed from Central Park to the Lower East Side back in the day. Nicole brought it from the rich part of New York to the poor section of New York and made the poor section of New York a little safer, made our communities a little better, made the people more supportive of what it is that she was trying to do. So if you don't know history, co-ed never existed in the Bronx, never existed in Harlem, never existed in the uptown part of New York until Nicole brought it up. That's all I want to say about it, because that's what it is. One day, I'll come on your show and we'll talk more about it, but to be frank, she's the one that made the way for co-ed softball in uptown New York. And that, I appreciate her and I love her for it.
Sam.
Thank you very much.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
You know how I feel about you. I don't want to take up too much time. You guys go ahead, do your thing.
Sam, you know what? I'm glad you didn't say a Dominican joke like you always get me. But I always love you. People don't know how close we are, how much we respect each other. And you know, today is Nicole's night. We want to honor her. Thank you so much for taking, and stay live, brother. You might win something tonight. Keep sharing. Thank you, my brother. Thank you so much. Bye-bye. All right.
Nicole, love you guys. You guys
Love you, Sam.
are doing an amazing job.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Nicole, I have a question about, this is probably a little off topic, but it's on topic. Co-ed.
Okay.
It's mixed. When I was growing up, you know, it was all women, you know, at that moment. And then all of a sudden this boom of co-ed, right? Where it was unheard of to see men and women share the field. But also with that comes the fact that people meet and fall in love and have babies and have flings and have a little drama. How was that in your league?
Well, let me start with when I retire in about another 2 years, there will be an ADW book coming out.
Oh, un libro.
The
So-
Vixen book?
The love of ADW. And I will sit and tell you, that there's been many relationships, women to women, man to woman, children involved. They break up and they get with other people. Co-ed softball is like a revolving door. It's like, okay, you're done with her, I'm next.
Ooh.
And then she'll be like, no, I don't want you anymore, I want him. But you know what? I can say that in my league, no matter how many times it was done and who it was done with, it was always respectful. There was never a fight on the field about, oh, you took my girl. What happened outside the field, happened outside the field. But yes, and let me tell you, there were times, and I won't say any names, but we had 3 guys that were the single guys, and we used to call them the guys of, okay, who's next? As soon as they saw the girl come in, they're like, we got dibs. Who's going first? And I'm like, guys, what are you doing? And they're like, we're going to see who can get her first. And I used to tell all the girls, stay clear from that clique on that side because they're coming for you. And it ain't cause they like you. It's they want to see who could get the draws first. And it was the honest
Que
truth.
todos los hombres se metían con la mujer.
Yes. But listen, it was the same thing with the guys. When a handsome guy came onto the field, they were like, whoa, who's that? Who's he connected to? So, you know, and like I said in the beginning, we had a lot of family teams. But then there were some that weren't related to anybody or connected to anybody, and they would just, you know, have a great old time. And listen, there's a lot of families that grew in my league. And to this day, they have kids, and the kids now play in our league. And we put them in the pamper leagues, and they grew up. And listen, I have a kid right now that he's about to go major league. And he started out with us in Pampers, and I will be proud to call his name out.
What?
It was Michelle Noriega and her husband Eric. They started out with the Gorillas in my league. Their son Gavin is amazing. And he's about to go major league. He's about to go.
Really?
Yes.
There you are.
There you are, Nicole.
So that picture, we decided one year to take the best of my women. So I took 3 girls from every team, and we created a travel team. And we were called the Showstoppers.
Yes.
And we just joined league after league after league, and we just
Who's
kept
that?
winning.
Nicole, that was a lot of years ago because I see you with a lot of less weight there.
No, less weight.
No grays.
Listen,
Less grays more than anything.
My English not very good looking.
It's okay.
Clearly.
I was 20 years old when I had my daughter, Nay.
But Nate, look at
Nate.
Nate. Hey, Nate, I like your tie, Nate. Nate, se mira cómo se ve Nate.
There goes my Nay. There goes my little Nay.
Hey, who's that? Who's that?
That's Nay.
And who's the one holding Nate?
That's Mom. That's me.
Hey, without no gray hair.
Without no grays.
No, señores, we're in the hot seat. You know what? Those are special. Esas son fotos especiales.
Look
Who's
at
that?
You
Oh,
say you don't play.
I
You
don't.
say you don't
Nicole,
play. That looks like
tú
you
no
got to
juegas.
So
hit.
I was taught how to hit to right field. And I told everybody, you don't have to move your body to hit to right field. And they said, show us. So I showed them.
Hey, mira la niña. Nate is in the back
And there's
watching
Nate
her mother. Yes. You know what? Hey, mi hermano Joey.
That's
That's
Joey.
Joey, City Diva.
So
Hey.
I'll tell you a quick story about Joey. I met Joey back in when she was about 7 years old. I coached in Montefiore Little League, and he came to me after a game one day and said, "You can't coach your daughter. Can you give it to me?" And I said, "What are you talking about?" And he said, "You're too tough on her." And I said, "Because she knows how to play." And he goes, "Give her to me." And I said, "Absolutely not." The following year, Montefiore League folded, and a league Belmont came along.
Yes.
He said, "Come coach with me."
Hey,
However,
mira que está ahí.
he said, "However, you can't teach her. I will." And she became a city diva, and today my daughter is one amazing ball player because there's not a position she can't play.
And it was a better
And
decision,
Joey
right?
did that.
It was
Joey
the better
trained up.
decision.
Absolutely.
Yeah, Joey's a great guy.
So,
Joey and Coach Brown did that.
you
I
know
do
what?
want to give a few shout outs. We have a lot of people on
Yes,
Facebook.
go ahead.
We
Go
have
shout out.
Jose on, Bobby Rice is watching. We have Danny
Bobby, the legend.
Monge.
That's the umpire you just saw in the picture.
Yes.
We have Justina Diaz. We have Glory Rodriguez. I mean, there's a whole bunch of people. We have David Colina, Noemi Rodriguez. I mean, there's quite a few people.
Grandma.
There's
Yes.
quite a few people. Hi,
Nicole
Grandma.
knows everybody. Nicole knows everybody.
So I just wanted to give a few shout outs for everybody who's watching. So keep tuning in.
Hey guys, you know, ustedes saben, we want to recognize the legend. Like I said, es un deporte, you know, when you do with softball, let's be honest here. Vamos a ser honestos. This is a men's sport that, you know what? Rosie one day said que when she speak, cuando ella le habla a los jugadores, they listen. Yo soy hombre, Manny es hombre. Los jugadores casi no nos oyen. They don't listen to us. And you know what? Having a female dealing with a men's sport, for me, is a great honor, un gran honor. So I feel that Nicole have done with some tough teams. And the reason I say this, because dealing with the Warriors, Cavaliers, and Hurricane, and a lot of teams, and I apologize for those that I will not mention, but I can only say is this. Out of the few leagues I know and the great ball players I have dealt with, only this woman could have the courage to be dealing with that. And tonight, we honoring her. There's a lot of questions going to be asked because we're in the Silla Caliente and we're not going to leave it out. Just so you can make sure of that. No lo vamos a dejar fuera because we got to put that chair to burn. But tonight, we got to honor her for the great job she has done.
Y otra cosa, muchachos, ustedes pueden mandar a hacer su pregunta sin ofensa.
Yes.
Nada personal, sin ofensa. Y ustedes tienen derecho a hacer su pregunta y nosotros la hacemos por aquí.
You know what? You
And
can send your questions.
And with that, I want to give you another surprise. El video uno, por favor. Thank you very much.
Hey, Nicole. Just wanted to wish you the best and say that we have an amazing time with ADW all these years. We're always fair as a person who ran the league. Can't say anything more than the fact that I enjoyed every minute of it all these years and had a lot of fun. And I hope that in, I don't know, about 15 more years, I can get these two to join the ADW and have a lot of fun. Yes. That way Nicole can yell at you guys. Like,
hey, Nicole, this is your big brother Joey, man. I'm just giving you a shout out for how wonderful work you have done for women's softball and also for girls softball. It's been a remarkable job. I want to commend you for having ADW for as long as you did, because as much as people complain and as much as people talk, lasting 21 years, you must have been doing something right. Whether we agree or disagree or agree to disagree, we had a great, time doing ADW, City Divas, because you were a big part of our growth. And, I got nothing but praise and good things to say about you. And as your big brother, baby, I love you and continue doing good work for the community, for the women's softball, for the girls softball. And you know how I love you, baby. God bless.
Hi, Nicole. I remember when we didn't have Pelham anymore and you started ADW so we could all have somewhere to play. And despite all the challenges and tears, you have kept it going. And as one of your veteran managers, I applaud you. As someone I know for over 20 years, you have always been the first to lend a helping hand to anyone in need. Stay true, my friend. Stay real. We love you. Thank you.
Nice.
Nicole, pues yo veo que te quieren mucho.
Yes.
Eso es bueno sentirse de esa manera, de tanta gente que te quiere. ¿Qué tú tienes que decir ahora mismo así, de tanto amor que te expresan tus seguidores?
I love them all just as much.
And you know what? Con eso, we're going to go on commercial break. Nos vamos en comerciales. Señores, stay tuned. Stay tuned because we're going to come with the Silla Caliente questions. Ya ustedes saben, we'll be right back. Venimos en breves. Nos vemos. Esto fue La Silla Caliente.
Your taxes. With our knowledgeable staff and state-of-the-art technology, we'll make sure that you receive the maximum refund that you deserve. Plus, with our advanced refund loan of up to $5,000 or more, there's no reason to wait. Visit Andres Income Tax today and take the first step towards a hassle-free tax season. Don't let tax season take over your life. Let us handle it for you.
Andres Income Tax, your one-stop shop for all your tax needs.
Cualquiera que sea tu forma de hacer banca, seguimos tu ritmo.
We've got your back, road warriors. You're hitting the road, and we're helping you get there with confidence. So skip the counter and choose any car in the aisle. Be the boss of you. National Car Rental.
La ciudad de New York, la ciudad que nunca duerme, siempre creciendo y que nunca para de evolucionar. Y los neoyorquinos, ustedes que siempre están en movimiento, ustedes que siempre están creciendo en tamaño y mente, ustedes siempre conectados y siempre mirando al futuro. Existe un servicio de taxi para todos ustedes, Old Town Car Service. Aceptamos tarjeta de crédito, viajes locales e interestatales. Te llevamos al aeropuerto o a donde quieras ir. Y también proveemos transporte a sus citas médicas, sin costo alguno, si usted califica. Old Town Car Service, 718-543-7777. También disponibles para Android y iOS. Old
Say I met her in the softball world. Kind of glad I did, you know, because she became being an excellent BFF, man, like 20 years. And with us is more than just softball, yo. You know, like that's my dog. Like when I could call her for anything other than softball. And thank you. Thank you for, you know, choosing me to be a part of this this story towards her. But like I said, she's definitely caring, she's definitely sharing, and she'll definitely look out for you, you know, in more ways than one.
I think that the biggest thing that people fail to realize about her is that she will take the shirt off of her back for someone. And for someone like me that never needed a shirt off of the back, she gave me something that meant a lot more. She gave me mentorship, guidance. She gave me love without judgment. She's a great human being, regardless to what people say. I love you. You're dope. Keep doing what you're doing.
I want to say,
yeah. How do you feel about that?
Very emotional.
Digo, yo sé que en esta noche hoy tú te sientes muy emocionado.
Yes.
Una noche muy emotiva para ti, ¿verdad que sí? ¿Qué tiempo tú tienes con la liga, Nicole?
Este año es 21 años.
21
years.
años.
21 years.
21 años trabajando día tras día arduamente. Vamos a hablar, para durar con una liga de 21 años, tiene que trabajar muy fuerte, ¿verdad que sí?
Yes.
Tanto en la disciplina de la liga. Vamos a hablar un poquito de la disciplina, de cómo tú has mantenido esa liga por tanto tiempo.
So I'll start with, when you're raised by a strict mother, my mother was very strict. My mother believed in you are to be seen and not heard. When you're spoken to, you speak. Otherwise, when there's an adult conversation, you go to the room. If I tell you, come home from school, do your homework, then you have something to eat, then you take a shower and you go to sleep. That's the rules. Those are your rules. You follow the rules and you get what you want because you've deserved it. I've always been that way. I've been a tough individual like that. I lost my mom when I was 15. Wow. So I became a strong individual as an adult. I've always believed in the 2 rules of life of you work hard, you pay your bills, your refrigerator's full. You could be as broke as you want. As long as your bills are paid and your refrigerator's full, you're rich. So when I decided to do softball, I had in my world that I'm a woman and I've got to overcome that this is a man's world of softball. So that's how I started. And of course I got a lot of, you don't know nothing, you're a girl, you're this. Okay, what they didn't realize was I read and I read and I read. And when I didn't understand, I'd go to someone who did know. That was Jimmy O'Gorman. A lot of people know Jimmy as the guy who ran the Hutch League. Jimmy took me under his wing and taught me everything I needed to know about softball, rules, where to find them, how to find them. And I just began to grow that way. And when things didn't come to a middle and they go, we don't agree with you, that's fine. Protest the game. And my answer was always very simple. I'm not charging you for a protest. You want to protest, it's free. Put it on paper. I'm going to go home and read my book and find the right answer. And I'm going to give you the right answer. I'm not going to just throw an answer out on the table and then find out later you look like a fool because you gave up the wrong answer and you caused us to lose the game. Not doing that. I'll see you next week. I'll give you a decision. And if I went home that night, believe me, I didn't go to sleep until I found the answer. I highlighted it. I took a picture of it. And then I sent it off in the chat room going to all the managers. Here's the protest. Here's the answer I found. And here's the judgment call. This is how we're moving on next week.
So Nicole, you know, estamos en la Silla Caliente, y second half. You know what that means? It's gonna burn, va a estar caliente esa silla.
Bring it. I'm
So
not
me
menopausing
dicen,
yet, so bring it.
you know, it was a question.
Go ahead.
We received a lot.
Dale. Recibimos qué?
No, we received a lot of
what?
questions. A lot of questions, messages.
No.
A lot.
That's not the way we roll here.
And we
Recibimos
los
facts. So one of the facts that I received, it was a question that was asked. They wanted me to ask you. Okay. I understand in the co-ed, but in the women's league, they feel that if a woman hit a ball over the gate, shouldn't be no rules. What could you explain to those people that might want to know an answer they not understand? Because I'm only asking the question, but I don't know what happened in the league.
So, nothing happened in the league. The reason for the ruling is for 2 reasons. We play in a park where there are homes surrounding the field. Those homeowners, although they moved into those homes and bought those homes knowing that there was a softball field there, they don't want us there. They believe we're causing damage to their home. So the reason for the ball over the fence being an out is to avoid the argument of the ball went over the fence, cracked my windshield, came into my dugout, or came into my parking lot, or there's no excuses. I had a homeowner one day come to me and said, you broke my window, and he shows me a yellow ball. I said, we don't use those balls. We use these. They're white clinchers. I'm sorry that your window got broken, but it wasn't us. You can't sue me. You can't come to me and say it was your league because it wasn't us. And I've explained that to the people in my league. It has nothing to do with I'm taking away from you. It's for us to continue our league, we have to abide by the rules because the homeowners run that community. And if they complain about us long enough, the Parks Department is going to take the permit away from us. Strike two on
Yes.
that question is, I also believe to be the best, you got to beat the best. If you can hit in a small field, you can hit anywhere. If I take away a home run off the fence for you, guess what? That's telling me you can hit the shot in the middle, you can drop the ball in, you can learn how to read the field. And I'll give you a perfect example. I got a girl right now who plays in my league. Her name is Carrie Ann. She's a powerful left-handed hitter. And in the playoffs, what did she learn how to do? Line drive the ball, and it kept hitting the fence to bounce off of it. It wasn't going over, it was hitting the fence. Why? Because she was focused to know that if I hit it over the fence, it's an out.
So, no, para la gente que habla en español, la pregunta fue, ¿qué pasa? Ella tiene un parque que tiene la fensa un poco pequeña.
Corta.
Por el right field. Entonces, la pregunta fue, ¿por qué es un out cuando la sacan de fuera del parque? Ella dice, porque hay personas, una residencia, la cual han pagado para tener sus casas, no quiere que se las rompan, pero hubo un residente que le trajo una bola amarilla, la cual no pertenece a la bola de ella porque la bola clincher es con la bola que ya juegas. Entonces, ¿qué sucede? Tiene unas jugadoras que ella, porque las reglas, aparte de todo, las reglas es para todo. Lo que igual no es ventaja. What is equal for everybody is no advantage for nobody. So I want to speak in Spanish for my Spanish audience to understand, para la audiencia español, la cual, what was the name of the player you had? Edian? Carrie Ann. Entonces, esa jugadora de mucho poder se adaptó a la regla, lo que significa que thank you, Nicole, for answering the question, y I'm going to explain to my Spanish audience que ella les explicó las reglas para todo, tuvo una jugadora de mucho poder, la cual hoy en día esa jugadora se adaptó a las reglas del play y hoy en día puede batear para el otro lado y entender las reglas. Lo que es igual para todo, no hay ningún problema. Te contesté la pregunta.
Ok, hice una pregunta.
Manny, have a question.
No soy chismoso.
He's not, ¿cómo se dice chimoso?
He's not a gossiper.
Exactamente.
He's not a bochinchero.
Exactamente.
Yes.
Sabemos de lo estricta que usted es en la liga.
Lo strict she is.
¿Verdad que sí?
Yes.
El que comete una falta, usted la...
If you commit a mistake, Nicole will go by the rules.
Entonces, en su liga no existe favoritismo.
In your league is no favoritism?
I'm going to answer that very black and white.
La va a contestar negro y blanco.
Do I have favoritism for one person? Absolutely not.
Por ninguna persona.
Do I do favors? Absolutely.
Yo hago favores, sí.
But I do it for everyone.
Para todos.
There is not a manager that has never come to me and say, Nicole, I got a wedding next week. Can I get an early game? No problem. Nicole, this guy is going to do this. He's going to do that. I need you to do... No problem. Just get him here to qualify. That's it. I do favors for everyone. There is not a manager that could ever say to me that they didn't call me and say, I need a favor, and I didn't work with everybody. I told everybody in the very beginning, the way I run my league is, the first 4 weeks, I'll put out the schedule. If you need an early game, you need to tell me before that schedule is released. Once that schedule is released, you get no more favors. And there's the next 4 weeks. So if in the next 4 weeks, but by the way, you're not going to get all the favors. I got 8 other teams that need favors. So if you already used 2, you've already used your favors onto somebody else. Now, if there's other teams that don't need a favor, then I'll give you an extra
Sí, pero
one.
mi pregunta es, la persona que pelean, vamos a decir, usted la saca de una vez.
No. Voy a dejar así. Estamos en la segunda. Manny, te voy a añadir. Te voy a añadir. A mirador.
Okay.
The question is that everybody want to know. Does Nicole favor her daughter? Le pregunta, no, Nicole, you don't have to answer right away.
And that came up several times.
So here's the answer to that.
We're going to bang it. You know what?
It's a very simple answer.
Very simple. We're not here. Aquí no estamos.
Va a pasar paño tibio.
Pasar, you know what? ¿Cómo se dice paño tibio? My English not very good.
A warm rag.
A warm rag. You know what, Nicole? We're here to honor her legacy. But you know what? We're going to ask the question. Nicole, people feel that you go by the rule. You obey the rule. You read the rules. We have heard your story. But you know what? I got to ask the question with all the respect because you know what? You know more than anything, I respect you. And I'm not here, first of all, but we're here for the people. We're here for the community, and we are family. So my sister, do you favor the rules or have favor your daughter because of any rules of the league?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. My daughter follows all the rules. Does she got a big mouth? Absolutely, she does. Does my daughter speak volume? Yes, she does. Does my daughter take a trait off my plate? Absolutely. My daughter speaks what my daughter knows. Does she get a little irate sometimes? Absolutely, she does. But guess what? She still gets disciplined, and she gets put on timeout. And if anybody's questioning a fight or an argument, the league rules...
That was it. It was a fight or some fight or something that happened.
So I'll answer that very black and white. The very black and white answer to my league rule is, I have a league rule. And it says the person who throws the punch is the person who gets suspended and banned. That's my league rule. You throw a punch, you're out. The episode that they're talking about, we're not going to get into detail, but it was basically inside the dugout. I was having a disagreement with two young ladies about a comment that they both made. It got a little out of hand. It got a little vulgar. It got a little loud. My daughter walked over to the gate and said, if you ladies are not happy, pack up your shit and just leave. That's all she said. Words were exchanged, and one of the girls wanted to come out and fight my daughter. They squared up. The girl threw the punch. She missed my daughter. It separated. No one ever landed a punch to each other.
Okay.
I asked the young lady to please escort herself out the park and call it a day. If you call that favoritism, that's your opinion.
Okay.
But in my opinion, it's not favoritism because she didn't throw the first punch.
And that's a rule that you have in your league.
Who throws the punch is the one who's banned.
Another one.
Yes, sir.
The English is not very good looking.
Did I answer that to the full
Yes.
I think you've answered it, yeah.
Nicole,
Sí.
¿te has visto forzada en sacar a alguien de la liga que tú aprecias mucho?
Have you seen yourself forced to take somebody out of the league that you appreciate so much?
Have I ever taken someone out of my league
that you appreciate
por
so
algún
much?
problema, por pelea, por lo que sea.
Definitely. There is a kid named Chris who I adore. He's a good kid. Is he a pain in the ass? Yes. Can he be feisty? Yes. Is he lovable? 100%. Sometimes he's out of control. Unfortunately, he attacked an umpire and I had to let him go.
¿Eso se pasó ahora?
El año pasado, last year.
Oh.
And I love him to death. And he knows I love him to death. Wherever I see him, I'll tell him in a heartbeat, I love you to death. I love his father to death, which is Luis Santiago. That's his dad. And I love them both. I've known them for over 30 years. And like I explained to them, and I'll explain to anybody, friendship is friendship. Business is business. Don't destroy my business, and we're good. We don't have to agree on business. We're still friends outside of that. When I call you friends and I call you family, that doesn't change. And I believe that. Wherever I see him and his father, I'll always say hello to them. I'll give them a hug and a kiss. And it's just what it is. Can you ever play in my league? No. But I still love you. If you ever need anything, you can pick up the phone and call me. Love them to death. But no.
Now, I want to ask you a question, Nicole. Cavaliers, Warriors, Hurricane, and what other teams I might be missing? Tar Heels and everything else. I mean, because teams, the Gorillas, Bears, you know.
I never had the Bears in my league, never.
Okay, but you know, players change, different names, different uniform. Yes. I guess I'm gonna consider myself a teddy bear or somebody, you know, a weekly. I don't want to deal with those type of teams. I don't want to deal with my brother Weechi. I respect so much, love so much. And the reason I don't run out Weechi is the dominant pitcher for my league is not as dominant for his level. His son Chris, very good friend. Respect him so much. Care for him so much. But for all the years, todos los años, have you handled Mickey, Cavaliers? When I heard I used to play EMS, Salami, my man Marco, all these things. But they've always been respectful when shake hands. How you have handled these top teams that I'm not willing, being a man, being Tarzan, Bomba, Big Bomba Capital, cannot do it with it in the league. But I have Nicole tonight. ¿Cómo tú has podido controlar all these guys and kept them coming for you every year? I really want to know how you have done it.
I think it's not control. I think it's respect. It's communication. I sit down with Mickey, which is the Cavalier manager. He'll tell me constructive criticism. Listen, Nicole, I don't think you should do this. I don't think you should do that. Okay, I'll bring it up in the meeting. I take everybody's conversation and I keep it to myself. I'll never put on the table who told me. I just at the meeting go, so this came up over the winter. They don't agree to this rule. This manager said this. Me and Jason from the Warriors. I met Jason 5 years ago, God bless, when Chris passed away. Jason and I are very good friends. We speak. He takes my daughter under his wing when she goes through her issues. You learn to communicate with people. Everybody has their own background. Everybody has their own dark closet. And you gotta learn how to understand people. You gotta learn to say, maybe they're not assholes. Maybe they're just going through something. And you have to sit back and say to yourself, let me take a minute of my time to go figure out what's going on and why they're so aggravated today. What's the problem?
Showing some empathy for each other,
and I think that's where
grace.
That's where my league separates from everybody else's league. I was always, I'm a woman of a very small family, and I believe that I took everybody in as my kid, my sister, my big sister, my cousins, and I felt that we were all one big family, and I believe that we all helped each other grow, and that is the key to why my league was called A Different World, because we didn't do what everybody else did. It wasn't about the money. It was about, thank you, my love. It wasn't about the money. It was more about the theory of we're a family. We're out here after the games. We're all sitting down. We're eating. We're drinking. We're having a good time. No one wants to fight. Listen, we had a guy one day who's a cop. He played in my league. He arrested a kid one day, and the kid was having a barbecue in the backstop of the field. He recognized him. He walked on the field and went to go attack him. The whole league stopped. Both diamonds came into the middle and beat the hell out of that kid. He ran out the park, his sneakers stood behind. And it goes to show you that everybody stuck together and said, we're all one family. We may not get along on the field because we're playing for the money, but when it comes to defending one another, that's where we are. And that was my goal, to keep everybody as a family.
You know what, Nicole? And to my colleague, ROSSY y MANNY, I'm going to say this. My softball family, we showed the last week. You know, you did a great tournament. We have footage of that tournament.
Well, let me just correct you. I can't take credit for that. That's oof.
Oof. But like I said,
I back her up.
You know what?
That's her.
You're absolutely right, because the legacy still continue of the mother. And the way you would have done it if it was Oof or yourself, you know, we one soul family. I have said it always. Besides my personal and blood family, I make a contract with whatever woman come to my life, and I said to her, "You must sign this contract before you go with me. Do not get involved with my softball family." Correct. So I want to tell those guys, those women, those kids that are watching this video, when it comes to your softball family, don't let nobody get involved, because the softball family, we are one family that people might not understand. I saw marriage, I saw family, I saw jobs, I saw a lot of great things, and I saw a lot of things breaking because of softball. But you know what? We are a blessed family. No matter what race, what nationality, what color, we're one family. We go by one goal, the love of the game. Thank you.
You know, to piggyback off of what you just said, I have two questions for you. You're talking about family and how united we are. One of the burning questions that has been asked today about 1,000 times has been, you retired co-ed softball this year from ADW. Why? You mentioned something about in your Instagram or Facebook, I know I saw it somewhere, you have mentioned something about it being a money war, quote unquote. So that's one part of the question. The other part is, are you considering ever bringing it back? People are dying for the ADW co-ed. It has been a question over and over. So that's the first question, and then I'll follow up with the second question.
So the answer to why co-ed retired was because it wasn't fun anymore. It wasn't family anymore. It now became a war about money.
But in what respect? Like,
it wasn't about.
Is it about the pot now?
Yeah,
is it about league fees?
It was basically, we're out to kill. We're fighting with each other. We're arguing with each other. We're cursing out the umpires. We're being disrespectful. There's no more, you guys just played your game. Now you're going to sit and watch the next two games. Once your game was played, you got up and left the park. There was
right.
No
I
more,
never stayed at the park. I was known for leaving.
But we all did.
I was known for leaving.
My park would be literally from 8 in the morning to 8 o'clock at night. Co-ed wouldn't leave. The girls played.
I lived down the block. I would play and then leave.
At 2:30 till 8 o'clock. I'm sorry. The women played from 2:30 to 8 o'clock, and the men couldn't leave. They stood there. They didn't care about another men's league. They stood there.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, co-ed is finished. We're gonna watch the girls play now.
Mm-hmm.
It was never an empty park. It was always about, let's stay here and watch.
Mm-hmm.
Let's have a good time.
It was very united. Yes, absolutely.
United. Once it got money greedy, it got ugly because now there's no more love of the game. There's no more respect for the game. Now it's just, who's going to win? And my answer came back very black and white, and I said, let's be realistic. The pot is $4,000. We only carry 10 teams. I could have carried 30 teams. I could have got 145 back. I could have went to Indian Field. I could have had Lafayette. I wanted to keep my league united in one park where I can see everybody. No one could ever tell me, you don't know who's on that roster? I can look at you and go, you don't belong on that team. Where did you come from? Because I watched every team that came in, every team that came out. I knew who everybody was. It was never a question to say, where did that guy come from? Because I'd go over to you and go, who are you? And people would say, oh, you know the whole roster. Yeah, I know the entire roster. Because I'm sitting here every Saturday. I'm here every Saturday. I watch everything. So when it became a war zone and it became ugly, it wasn't fun anymore. I didn't want to do it.
What would you change if you brought it back?
It's not about what I can change. It's what the managers got to change. And like I tell the managers all the time, you're the parent of that team. You have to control your players. It is your job to say, guys, you're playing on my team. I need you to respect the league. I need you to respect the rules. Let's play. Let's win. But let's be respectful. If you can't do that, it's never going to happen.
But, Nicole, you had the most competitive league.
Yes.
And, the most fun league. Yes. And there's a lot of people appreciate your league. Yes. And to be quite honest,
they said bring it back.
It's tough because having a child being involved in your league, because I have my son, I have few brothers, my family umpiring, and you know what? What's the most hurting thing I'll go through every time? That's Bomba's brother. That's Bomba's son. You know what? I don't want people to know who's my brother.
Right.
I don't want people to know who's my son. You know why? I brought up that he must do a job. So call him by his name. Call my brother by his name. Not because my legacy, because I'm not known for races. I'm not known to favor anybody. And whoever have known me, I will not allow it. I'm only known for the truth. And if you know the truth, and I want to ask you something, why, and I know it's tough, and you go and obey by the rules. Now, I find out that I was surprised you have umpired the Queensboro League, right?
Yes, I did.
How your new journey as an umpire and maybe umpiring your own daughter, talk to us about that experience.
It's, again, you follow the rules. They have their league rules. You enforce their league rules. It's not about, it's a different league. It's not about, oh, you gave up your league and now you're working for somebody else. It's called, I took a break and now I'm going to make some money and I'm going to enjoy the sport that I like and I'm going to do what I got to do and do a job. And I did. I enjoyed it for 9 to 10 weeks And unfortunately, me and the commissioner didn't see eye to eye, and we agreed to disagree. And my answer will always be, it's not what you say, it's how you say it. You can agree to disagree with me. You can say you did something wrong. I can apologize. You want to suspend me? You can do that. You want to fine me? I'm fine with that. What you're not going to do is degrade me and speak to me and yell at me. I will tell you, let's have a conversation. And guess what? If you and I still can't agree to disagree, I'll shake your hand, say thank you for the opportunity, walk away and say I quit. And that's what I did. And I have no hard feelings, none at all. If he asked me to come back and work for him, I'd be more than happy to. But we have to draw a line and say, respect me and I'll respect you. And that's anywhere.
And that sounds fair. I mean, you know, what more can you ask than respect from someone? I do have another one.
Okay.
What advice do you give women like me, women like your daughter, just women that are interested in getting involved more in the softball world? Now that you don't have a co-ed league, what if other women, which these were burning questions that have been asked today, what advice do you give these women to be commissioners of a league or to start a league or to continue on that legacy?
To my Spanish viewers, sorry, before you answer it, ¿qué consejo tú le darás con tu trayectoria a mujeres femeninas que quieren comenzar una nueva trayectoria como tu hija, como yo, que es la Rossy? ¿Qué consejo tú nos puedes dar con tu trayectoria para nosotros comenzar una liga?
So I'll use my daughter as an example. My daughter, when I retired co-ed, she decided to run a men's league. Her first year, unfortunately, was a rain-out year where it rained for 9 weeks straight. Yes. But we managed to get the season through, and we got a championship game, and we got a winner. We did. My daughter is not cut from my cloth. My daughter she reacts on instinct, where I absorb. I'll listen to you. You can offend me. I'm not going to attack you at the moment. I'm going to let it absorb, register what you just said to me, and then I'm going to come back, and I'm going to come back at you and go, you were wrong. This is not how it's handled. This is not how it's done. My daughter's young. She's learning, and I told her, in this world we live in, you can speak to 10 people. You can't speak to all of them the same. I can say, hey, buddy, how you doing today? Hey, what's up? How you doing? Hola, bendición. How are you?
You can say in English, don't worry.
But I'm just saying, it's different people. I was raised from young. I was young from young. You respect your elders. Despite how disrespectful they get, you respect your elders. I can see the oldest person in the park, and I walk up to them and go, bendición. I have an old lady right now that goes, why do you say that to me? I said, that's how I was raised.
Yes,
right.
Say
bendición.
Hey, it's manners.
It's
manners.
House
trained, they call it.
So again, and then there's a person who could come across me that I gotta be like, listen, sir, this is the rules. But I don't care. But you're yelling. Calm down. Let's go over the rules again. Let me pull you to the side. Let's have a conversation over here. Where I could be like, could you just shut the hell up already and let's follow them?
Because you have esa confianza or whatever. Yeah.
We can agree to disagree. And then, like I said, if you don't agree with my rules, and I got a very stink attitude, and I'll be the first to tell you, my logo has always been, and anybody will quote me on it. If you don't like it here, leave.
But
and I've always said that. And people will tell me, Nicole,
me llegó un fax.
Oye,
¿Qué te llegó? Dime. What came?
A mí me contaron que a la Nicole le dicen la que manda, la que más manda. Tell us something about that.
Es que se ve que dura.
So, I got that name from Mr. 33, which is Jose Nunez.
Jose Nunez, the one that said that
he always got a bucket hat on, right?
You know what? They said that it was very fun, very competitive. Your league, always.
Yes. Jose was a very quiet individual. He took my daughter under his wing. He showed her how to pitch. He told her, go home all winter long, put the ball in your hand this way. You'll learn how to throw a knuckleball eventually. But he would agree to disagree with me. He started coaching with a young kid. They had a team called the Aces, and they didn't agree with my rules sometimes. And I'm like, listen, this is what we had a meeting for. It's not my fault that you didn't show up to the meeting. I have one meeting. I don't do 20 meetings. I don't do 30 Zoom calls. One meeting. Here's the date. Here's the time. Show up and be there. If you're not there to vote, you get no say-so. So if we were at a meeting and we voted on something and you don't like it, you're stuck with it. Because guess what? The league has started. These are the rules. You don't like the rules? See you next season. We'll vote again. We'll try it again.
I hear a continuing theme. The rules.
But you know, yes. But ¿tú saben algo? You know, yo and Nicole right here have something very in common. And you know what? One of the things is cuando tú eres líder de una liga and you're a commissioner very known, you know, I told my son, yo le dije a mi hijo, you're not going to live under my shadow. Tú no vas a vivir bajo mi sombra. And the reason why, because if you are going to umpire, you're going to play, you better earn your name. And the reason why I was brought up very old school, respect your elders, like Nicole said all day, you know, bendición and everything else. But you know what? We're very unfair. I've been speaking, estamos hablando que estamos injusto. Aquella familia. If Uf act a certain way, her daughter, Nicole don't have nothing because her daughter is grown. She's adult. She should be judged for her action, not her mother. But you know what? Our kids sometimes, nuestros hijos, got to understand. When we become somebody in this game, we work so hard to earn our name. Our kids sometimes got to make a sacrifice and grow. Tenemos que crecer. We got to grow as human beings and say, you know what? My mother have fought. My mother have, you know, worked so hard and created a path so long.
Living legends.
So I have to grow up and pick up myself. But you know what? That comes with time. Eso viene con tiempo. But the only thing we had to separate, little Bomba, my brothers, and everybody else. You know what, Nicole? I'm going to say something today. Voy a decir algo very personal that I've been through all the time. You know, I was Dominican raised Black Puerto Rican, and grew up in an atmosphere where my God is a God of everyone, no color. So when people look at me, they used to tell me in the park, oh, Bomba, those are your people. I didn't know because there was Dominican, no lo conocía porque eran dominicanos. I didn't know them. But right away, people already had a judgment. Right away, because your daughter was in a team, te juzgaban. How do you feel? How you battle that? The only way I battled it was like, how cruel softball been to me. How unfair have been to me. I have every week earned my strike to prove myself that the God I believe is not a Dominican God, is not a Puerto Rican God, is not a black God, is a God of all. So how can you answer that?
So I'll go jump on that bandwagon real quick. I just had a conversation with a gentleman who is a Christian. And he asked me, he goes, Christian is the only way to go. And my answer is very simple. I don't believe in Catholic Church. I don't believe in Christian Church. I don't believe in Buddhism, Judah, this, that. To me, there's a higher power. There's a God. I don't care what level you want to be in. There's a God. You pray at night. You don't got to go to church every Sunday. You get up every morning. You thank God that you woke up. You sit back and say to yourself, today's a new day. What happened yesterday is yesterday. Tomorrow's a new day. Done. I don't have to go to church and say, oh, I'm Catholic, or I'm Christian, or I'm this. I don't need to do that. I need to say, I pray to the man above, and I'm good. There's another factor that I tell people all the time. You can never say, oh, that kid was brought up in a bad home. You can have the perfect home and still turn out to be a piece of shit child. Pardon my language. You can be in a horrible home and be the perfect child. They're adults now. How they carry themselves is how they have to be portrayed. They are now adults.
So, Ray, we have something tonight behind that speaker. Right there, Ray. Come on, Ray.
No, first let's play the video, the last video.
Vamos al video.
And this is, I think, very special. And
yes, for you.
You'll see.
Let's go. So I jumped to the wagon. Let's
Hey,
watch.
Ma, you did it. 20 plus years. Bowling tournaments, football tournaments, 5-on-5, 233rd, Harris Field, Tinton, 155, 145. All these perks, all these leagues, all these years, you did it. You did it. You did it, and you continue doing it. You're doing a hell of a job. One thing I do say is, you know, if it wasn't for you, I wouldn't be where I'm at today. I probably wouldn't have half the confidence that I've had. you got a hardship. And when I say hardship, you're very hard on me, and you continue to be hard on me, and that's my discipline, and that's what made me who I am today, and that's what made you who you are today. It's hard to run a women's league, and you did it. It's hard to be a woman commissioner. You did it, and I'm just following the footsteps. You did co-ed, you did women, and now I'm doing men, and I hope to continue living in your legacy and continue to make you proud. But one thing I must say is that you make me proud every single day. Everything you do it from the bottom of your heart. You don't care for the recognition. You never cared for the recognition. But today's the day you get your flowers, and it's long overdue. It's way long overdue. So I just want to say I'm proud of you, and I'm gonna continue being proud of you. Hey, Ma, you did it. 20 plus years. Bowling.
Yes, and tonight, what an honor, her mother. Señores, you know what? Tonight, I want Rosie, come over here. I want Rosie to honor who deserved to be honored.
So
tonight,
Nicole, ya no te puedo atacar ya.
You know what? Tonight is a special night. Hoy es una noche muy especial. This is a softball family. We have our differences. When we ever see someone down, we become, we pick them up. And tonight, we want to honor no racist, no differential in anything, no discrimination. Tonight, we want to honor the person that built this game, built our family, Nicole. So I want Rosie to read what Silla Caliente have for her.
And it is a grand honor, woman to woman. I have admired you from afar. I have admired you from afar for a very, very long time. I haven't been always in the softball in your league. I've been mostly upstate or in Central Park, but it is a grand honor to have you here today and hear your story and be here with your daughter. And she's helped me so much with these videos and the footage. And La Silla Caliente TV presents this award of recognition to Nicole Condomitti for her outstanding impact on the softball community with over 20 years of dedicated service. Your passion and commitment inspires all. From Bomba Capital, ROSSY and MANNY, Chicago.
Thank you very much, guys.
So we want to give you that. Hey, I'll tell you this. So we want to leave you with the last words of the show tonight. So you have the mic. It's
Everyone's
all yours.
watching. It's all yours.
It's all yours.
So basically, I'll just say it's been a pleasure for 21 years to do what I did. I tried my hardest to continue growing. Maybe one day I'll bring back co-ed, maybe. But I will say thank you, Rosie, because I've turned down 1,000 podcasts, and I kept saying no. And here she comes, woman to woman, and goes, come on, you gonna do it? And I'm like, all right, fine, let's go, let's do it. So thank you. And it was a pleasure sitting here talking to you guys. But like I said, I'm a tough cookie. I know I am. I'm not in denial. I know that I could be a pain in the butt sometimes, but genuinely, I love everybody in my league. No matter how much I annoy people, and they know that I'm genuine. And if they ever need a shirt off my back, it's theirs, and it's never a question. I've seen half this league grow. I've been there through tears, through happiness, through weddings, through funerals, and my door's always open. So it'll never change.
Amazing.
So guys, esto ha sido La Silla Caliente. Tonight we honored the legacy of Nicole. Thank you so much. Tune in for the next week. Gracias. La Silla Caliente.
Next Monday, 9 o'clock.
Your taxes. With our knowledgeable staff and state-of-the-art technology, we'll make sure that you receive the maximum refund that you deserve. Plus, with our advanced refund loan of up to $5,000 or more, there's no reason to wait. Visit Andres Income Tax today and take the first step towards a hassle-free tax season. Don't let tax season take over your life. Let us handle it for you.
Andres Income Tax, your one-stop shop for all your tax needs.
your taxes. With our knowledgeable staff and